So, coming off the most recent episode of 90 Day Fiancé, where we witnessed Georgie and Darcey go at it, with also the inclusion of Stacey and Florian being a part of the whole instigation and making things a whole lot more worse. In that confrontation, the most recent episode, what else did we notice? We noticed one simple thing. Georgie had the audacity to say what? To say to Darcey and to Stacey that you are both broke. And as you can see, Darcey is coming on this posting with a highlight reel of everything that her and her sister have done, they've accomplished, showing off their riches, showing off their achievements, and pretty much saying, let's set the record straight. We're not broke. We're building generational wealth, which is beautiful to hear, beautiful to see, because it's not necessarily the case that they are building generational health. They are adding to generational wealth, because we have to also remember that their father is also a very, very rich man who already built generational wealth before they were born and put them on the pedestal that they were able to capitalize on. Okay? Well, I say capitalize because I can only positively, because I want to be positive, say that instead of wasting daddy's money, they've used daddy's money to pretty much build themselves, brands, businesses, whether it's a fashion, whether it's been on TV, whether it's making, helps me to say this, music, if that's what you want to call it. But either way, though, we do know they have definitely taken advantage of the money to become entrepreneurs. And that is adding to the generational wealth that the father has already set for them, which is fantastic, because that means that both sisters, both of their kids across both boards can take on this generational wealth at some point, or maybe already they have, and then also passed on to their kids, and so on and so on and so on. Okay. Now, also, she also continued by saying, not broke, just booked, branded, and building an empire. But again, I always say adding to an empire personally. You know what I mean? Purely because we know that they are not two sisters who started at the bottom. They started when they already had a good foundation of financial support. Do you see what I'm saying? So that's the only part I got to tweak there. You know what I mean? Because we gotta keep it honest. Because at the end of the day, building generational wealth means generally you came from nowhere. Okay, building the empire means generally you came from nowhere, but you didn't. So don't be sneaky now, girls. But nonetheless, though, let me know your thoughts, because I know when Georgie came out with his comments, it definitely caused an uproar. Okay, so what are your thoughts? Do you think that this here was the perfect response to the claim that Georgie made on the most recent episode of 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After, which we do live stream every Monday, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't already know, so be there for that one. And of course, as you can see, they're using one of the other pages saying, we will always be silver strong. And to be honest with you, I love that. That's the energy that you need to be able to make it in life in general. But of course, people have their comments, people obviously have their thoughts. So let's see what people's had to say. Obviously, this person says this video doesn't prove you have money. And if you did have money, you wouldn't feel the need to post this, which, to be fair, is a fair point. But at the same time, though, let's not forget, when it comes to Darcey and Stacey, what's one of the things that they love to do? They love to brag, or in today's society, they love to flex. Okay, they love to show off. So really and truly, I'm not surprised that they ended up posting this, this thing. Yeah, I mean, end of the day, but at the end of the day, it is still a very valid point. Posting a video like this doesn't really prove anything per se. Post us your bank details, and then we'll believe you. And also, why are you concerned about everyone else's opinion? And let's be real, let's talk about that. It's because, well, when it comes to the Silva sisters, if you look at them visually, you will know that they have always been insecure. You will know that they seek approval from outside people. That's why Darcey spent so long on Darcey and Stacey TV show saying that I just want me and Georgia to be the it couple, to be the power couple, because she wants people to see her being with a young man that is handsome, that looks the part, that looks like a model. So therefore it makes her look like she really is that queen. She is the queen bee of 90 Day or reality TV. So to be honest with you, the attitude really explains some of the questions that have been asked there. Again, though, but does it prove that they are not broke? Absolutely not. You pay people to take your photograph, which is a very interesting one, because Shekinah has also been called out for too. Your sponsors and deals are plastic surgeons that should tell you no, which is also a very good, fair point, because each time we see these two girls fly over to Turkey, let me stop playing it now, but it's kind of making me dizzy. But at the same time, we know that whenever they go to Turkey to get all of these things done to their faces, I mean, it's never been proven as a fact, but we do generally feel like it's all because they're getting it for free, because they are they are sponsoring these companies. Each time they go to Turkey and get something done, and then they plug it, obviously, what does that do? It means that their audience, which sadly is probably audience of also people who have low self-esteem, they obviously promote it. So to be fair, there is that point too. And when you're getting freebies, I mean, to be fair, I guess it can be kind of easy to stay not being broke, but still doesn't prove that you're not broke. Also, someone else says, here's a secret. People with actual generational wealth never talk about it, not to their friends and definitely not to strangers online. You just called yourself out. That's another very, very strong, fair point. But someone else says, hey, say it louder for the haters in the back. So at the end of the day, it's always a matter of perspective. Destroying your good looks and looking and acting like fools. But okay, if that's what you want, then good for you. And I ain't gonna lie to you, if your generational wealth is actually based on destroying your looks and also being a 90-day fiancé, consistently having like interesting storylines, yeah, if I was one of their kids, I'd be like, you know what, keep your generational wealth, but I don't want it. Because I don't want to have to keep it up by going on 90 day myself and acting like a fool. Listen, in the video that we uploaded yesterday where we see Georgie, Darcey, and Annika on TikTok live, we saw Annika definitely felt a bit awkward, very, given the fact that her mum was obviously getting a bit loud, obviously, about George at the time. And she said, I don't want to be involved. So to be fair, there is that part too. So I don't blame people for noticing that. You know what I mean? But hey, it is what it is. And of course, here's this person's Georgie, you must have hit a nerve or the truth. So did he hit a nerve or did he hit the truth? Now that is the killer question. Let me know your thoughts on that one. The more you drag, the less you have. Generational wealth in what? Plastic and fillers? That is a very, very good question. So the answer is, what is it? What is it? Generational wealth spent on unnecessary plastic surgery is given prestige worldwide vibes. If you know, you know. Strange how every empire keeps vanishing faster than the last launch. Maybe the next one will finally outlast the hashtag. Ooh, people are definitely coming in hot here. Definitely coming in hot. But we'll read one more and then obviously we'll close down the video, ladies and gentlemen. This one says here, Wealth whispers, darling, we've known you broke from the beginning when your grown asses were living with your peso of kids in a home bankrolled by your father. Now you both finished abandoning them. Your dad gets to pay for everything, including your two broke husbands. Now that part is very key. Two broke husbands, especially Florin. Florin has not worked in like forever. Remember the season when Florin was chasing this whole modeling freaking career, and it was like one of the worst things we've ever seen before, because honestly, him turn up to a modeling shoot like this, and then demanding like ridiculous amounts of money was just crazy, cringe-worthy TV. To be fair, I'm pretty sure that was the last season that we saw of Darcey and Stacey. No wonder why that season was cancelled. I mean, I feel like Florin may have single-handedly cancelled that season himself, to be fair, with his low energy. That was just appalling. But hey, it is what it is. But nonetheless, though, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section, folks, and we can most certainly talk about it. Like I said before, obviously, they are currently on the season of Happily Ever After, which we do live streams of on a Monday, and also do a live stream on the Tuesday of the other way. So if you have never been to the live stream before, make sure you're there. Otherwise, me and you, we're still friends. Just make sure you like the video and subscribe on your way out, and comment as well. Peace.